Every once in a blue moon, it's nice to be able to come before you with a piece of good news, and you can double that when it's something good in the arena of public education. And I've been talking about all of that this week, and as you undoubtedly know personally, if you've got any kids in public school, the whole thing is a massive crap show, and it's getting worse by the day. But once in a while, something good happens, or at least I hope it's good. South Carolina lawmakers have advanced a bill that, if passed, will offer up to $1,000 per child in tax credits to parents who choose to homeschool their kid or kids. Now, I hope that doesn't involve any government overreach, but this is a bill that doesn't have any Democratic support in the state, but that doesn't mean that it can't pass. And it also doesn't mean that even if it doesn't pass in that state, other states won't take that idea and run with it. So, hey, maybe we're looking at a good thing. Not only are homeschools and charter schools seeing a massive uptick in popularity all over the country, but in South Carolina, they're actually trying to encourage it. Now, one of the beautiful things about this, I think, is that here you see an instance which proves that sometimes the answer to a problem isn't a negative solution, but a positive one. Instead of we shouldn't do this, we get a we should do that. And, the failures of online education throughout the course of the pandemic have been legion, as have a lot of the half-assed attempts to cold start the homogenous dwelling space of the mind that we all wish public schools could be. And as you might have guessed, the numbers on homeschooling and charter schooling are good. I mean, in fact, they're very good. I've said it to you a lot of times on this program that it's time to get your kids out of public school. Get them out of the system. I said it yesterday. In fact, well, look, if this bill passes, parents in South Carolina just got a massive incentive to do exactly that. Now, I say this is an excellent development. I hope that it gains traction and can be applied in other states as well. Hell, if the government's going to spend my money on education, at least it can actually spend money on education that's real for once. This is a bright light in an otherwise very dark tunnel, and there needs to be a lot more of them before we can see well enough to find our way out of it. Now, just from March to September of 2020, homeschooling rates more than doubled in the United States, largely due to COVID and all the BS surrounding it, of course, but it's also because parents are waking up to things like critical race theory, which is being taught in its multifarious forms at all age levels. As we've discussed on here before, the left is getting to the point where they don't even bother to hide the ball on that one much anymore. That'll be a hilarious thing to remind your liberal friends about a year or so from now. Hey, remember when you told me that all that stuff absolutely positively was not being taught in schools? Oh, yeah, I remember when you said that. The mass migration of unmolded minds from the capricious vicissitudes of public education into the relatively safer and more academically sound realm of private education isn't just a good thing, it's an absolute vital thing. Those kids are going to carry the torch in the future, and the fate of our country will be resting entirely on their shoulders someday. And if that's not enough to convince you, consider this. By the time you and I get old and senile, which is getting close, Social Security will have been entirely wiped out by the American debt. I love getting older. And those little folks are going to be all that stands between us and living out the rest of our lives in a trash can, Oscar the Grouch style. Hey, God help us. I'll pray for you. You pray for me. I love y'all. God bless you.